Many of us have experienced the illness of a loved one or known someone who has. What most of us are unprepared for, however, is the physical, emotional, and financial toll an unexpected illness can cause. Families often don't know what to do or how to seek answers. Years ago, my father was diagnosed with Alzheimer's disease and subsequently required nursing home placement. I personally experienced the fear and confusion family members face. This film's purpose is to help others in the same situation. You'll meet real people who'll be painfully honest about these trying aspects of a loved one's illness.
She had passed away that night. And, you know, as much as I cared for her and everything, I was relieved. Because I knew that wasn't the same gal that I married. She was just entirely, she was gone already in my mind. You know, it came on very, very gradual. Little things that I thought were funny were serious. Like when she'd, she had driven the ball, and then she'd ask me, did I hit my ball yet, and I'd laugh. And it was tough because, boy, I'll tell you, could have never have found a more beautiful, more intelligent person in the world, and I thank the Lord every day.
I have a sister, Janine Lazinski, who had a brain aneurysm, and she's 45 years old. She had surgery to repair the aneurysm. She also had a stroke during the surgery. My sister cognitively is pretty alert. She can communicate with us. She prefers questions where she has to answer yes or no because she doesn't really want to, I think, put out that effort, or maybe she can't get her thoughts together.
It hit me right in the face. The only thing I ever knew about Alzheimer's was what I heard what was happening to President Reagan. And then he just started doing weird things. And he would sit and he would just kind of look in outer space. And sometimes he would not answer questions that were very simple.
She fell in the kitchen, hit her head again. At this point, the doctor rushed. We had an MRI done on her and found that she had 2 blood clots on top of each other. The doctor's prognosis was we had to operate. This really incapacitated her.
My husband, Norman, he had so many different things wrong with him. He had some dementia. He couldn't swallow. He had to have a feeding tube. We would notice that he would forget things that he should have known, but there were just certain things. He did not remember the address of this house, but he could remember the address of the house that we lived in 50 years ago. He couldn't remember how long we were married. One time it would be 17 years, the next time it would be 21 years. There were times when he would forget my name. Well, who are you? What are you doing here?
She was about 81 when she had the stroke, and it affected her ability to walk. She was very kind, level-headed, common sense kind of person. I just loved her. I miss her.
We had no warning. She was fine. She played golf Monday, the day before, and Tuesday she worked around the yard. Georgia felt a pain in the back of her head, something popped. That was it. She never spoke another word. She had a brain aneurysm. They showed me how a brain aneurysm looks, and then it pops, and there was a lot of blood in the brain, and they had to drain the blood. Never said that she would ever be, eventually the word came out, semi-vegetative. I never, they never mentioned that, but I got to know that word.
And then when Lucille gets sick, it's not that she gets sick in a couple of days you can get better. She tells us, Lou, I want to go home. I keep telling Lucille, you can't go home. She still doesn't know that she's going to be there for the rest of her life.
All of these illnesses, whether sudden or gradual, eventually take their toll on the family members as symptoms increase. Some family members literally have to adapt their lives to suit the illness, sometimes to a point where their own lives suffer.
I had to get a hospital bed. had to modify the bathroom. And what I mean by modify, there are things for the toilet. You have to put a raised toilet seat. You have to install bars for them, grab bars everywhere. You gotta have grab bars. For their bath, you have to provide chairs that you sit in the tub where they can sit on the edge, swing their feet around. You no longer can have a shower head above. That's not going to accommodate. That has to be modified. The kitchen had to be modified. Certain appliances had to be brought down to waist level. They no longer can reach that far anymore.
Well, I can't take care of her. I've been living like this the last 6, 7 years. I have to watch her all day, and I go bowling, I go golfing, I've been doing all the stuff. In fact, the last 6 years I've been doing all the cooking. She hasn't done a thing.
We had one woman that told us, this was with our in-home program, she hadn't been out of the house except to take her husband to the doctor for several years. And we came into the home and she had arranged, and we had someone come into the home to take care of her loved one. And she said, all I'm going to do is go sit in my car. She said, I never get a chance to just sit in my car and read a magazine, and so that's what I'm going to do. So for the first few times we came, that's literally what she did. We finally encouraged her, you know, get out and go to lunch or go shopping, do what you need to do. We will take care of your husband. And so eventually she did, and she was able to get out and get a lot done. But just that break, just that time away can be very important for families.